All right, let me run one more time. I missed that one. Here we go. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the cave. It's me, Joe Reezy, and I'm here with PQ, the chef, Zach, and Hank from 643 Conspiracy Podcast. But before we begin, I need to pause and mute my fucking TV in the back. I'll be right back.
Let's go. Sometimes it be like that, you know?
It do, in fact, be like that.
There we go. We live, baby.
In the house.
Before we begin, make sure you check out our sponsors at safelightcandle.com. If you need lighting for your home, your workspace, or your studio, why aren't you getting it at safelightcandle.com? Also, if you want to enjoy exclusive content from the Caveman, get access to our Discord community filled with crazy-ass people like you and me 24/7, and receive free giveaways from the Cave Mart, then you're going to want to check out our Patreon page. The link to that is on our website, k4v3.com. That's cave.com. Yeah, man, you got to be barefoot. Shoes and socks, that shit fucks you up, bro. What's going on, Hank?
How's it going, man? Glad to be here. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry we fell off on our first appointment, but glad to have you on. I feel like it was a long time coming. And Chef, you host your show with Chef every now and then. How did you guys meet?
Man, Chef, I guess we met through Bo in a sense. Bo Diggles.
Okay.
So my original co-host was the one who did all the networking and ran the social medias. And like right after he passed away, Kyle was one of the first ones to hit me up. And he's kind of just always been in my corner. He's helped me out a lot. And the way life kind of worked out, he ended up needing a co-host and I ended up needing a co-host. So we got together and we were like, we're going to make this work. And I love the dude, and I've been trying to recruit him out of California ever since.
Awesome, man. Where are you from right? Where are you living at right now?
I'm in Arkansas.
Arkansas, okay. Let's see. Man, Chef, and when we met too, man, we had our first episode with Bo as well. That was the craziest episode, I feel like. I like episodes like that, man. What did you think about the show the first time you were on? Because that was pretty crazy too.
Dude, right after we got done recording, I'm like, well, I'm never going to be talking to the cave dudes again. That was it. I think I wrote you right away after it. I'm like, dude, I am so sorry. Like, I did not think this was going to go down like this. I was fucking embarrassed. And luckily you saw past the embarrassment and here we are today.
Yeah, man. Dude, you're a cool guy, bro. You're a caveman from the get. So real recognized real. Yeah, that was a fun episode, and I feel like we gotta continue. We'll keep talking about that because we talked about flat Earth. You know, we talked about Pizzagate.
Let's go. We did
into that. Yeah.
So Hank, what's your like normal content like? Or like what are favorite topics of interest?
As you can tell with the Cardinals jersey, I'm a big baseball fan. I've been a baseball fan my whole life. So when me and my original co-host got the idea to start a show, it was because we met through the buying and selling of baseball cards on Facebook.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, I collect cards. I got some of my collection behind me.
I just started, but for football, so.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I collect some football too. I'm a Eagles fan in the NFL, so I got a few of those. But
nice.
Yeah. So we decided, we're talking every day about baseball stuff, and we're talking every day about conspiracy stuff. So why not talk about both on a podcast? Because I'm sure it's the story of everybody else. If our text messages were public, I'm sure somebody'd listen to it. So we just started winging it. And so we would do a sports show once a week, and then we'd do a conspiracy show once a week. And, like I was saying, life done life since then. So the routine's not as constant as it was, but I still talk about sports a lot, and we'll talk whatever conspiracy, that we won, a lot of flat earth, a lot of talks about God and religion in general.
Okay. Yeah.
What else we get into, Kyle? I mean, we talk about pretty much everything over there, man. Like nothing's really off limits, but like, and as far as sports go, I'll talk football, basketball, collegiate sports, high school sports. I'll talk.
So as
darts.
of right now, what's like the best NFL card you've pulled? So for me, I just pulled it's an autographed Fred Warner. That's like the best card that I pulled so far.
Man, I don't really buy boxes and packs and stuff.
Okay.
Like I chase singles because I've never, like, honestly, the best card I pulled was out of a Topps Gallery hobby box one year, and it was a Cattell Marte autograph, which wasn't anything. So I mean, Cattell, he just came in second place for the Diamondbacks, just came shy of winning a World Series this last year. But the best card that I have is probably this 1982 Mickey Mantle autograph.
Oh, that's sick. Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I collect a bunch of Cardinals, former Razorbacks. If I can find a Razorbacks auto in a college uni, I'm trying to scoop that bad boy up. And thankfully, most of them aren't but a handful of dollars. So I've got some. I just was able to purchase
Feel the Burn had to shut off his screen because he was too turned on by that card.
You took a screenshot.
I need a break.
I don't know if y'all remember when Alex, you follow the NFL, so I don't know if you heard of Alex Collins. He was a running back for the Ravens.
Yeah.
He just passed away, and he was a running back
really
at
sad.
Arkansas.
Okay.
I just picked up his got a rookie 90 out of 99 a RPA.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude.
He was a great running back.
Dude, he was awesome in college, and I don't think that they used him right in Baltimore.
Yeah, well, they've always got too many heads in the backfield.
True.
Yeah, it's always a committee with the Ravens, so I think that's the big part of it. But yeah, but he was talented. He had some really nice plays.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've got my
out of all the sports, which I feel like baseball has the biggest lore or fandom for sports cards, but out of all of them, which is the most
I'd agree with that.
Valuable for a trade-in value or reselling.
It really just depends because if you have a Patrick Mahomes rookie that's in a good shape, dude, you're sitting on a paycheck. Or if you've got like Luka Doncic, early rookies or early years of Luka Doncic, you've got a paycheck.
Especially if they're numbered.
Yeah, sure.
If they're numbered and autographed, yeah.
The big thing with baseball 9 times out of 10 is either it's vintage cards from like the 50s and 60s, early 70s, or it's prospects that are just got drafted or in minor leagues, haven't even played one inning in the majors, but you can't buy their first autograph, their Bowman first autos for anything less than a couple $1,000. And it's just like, this kid could get hurt and never amount to anything. And it seems to me that basketball and football as well. Kyle, I know you mentioned that you like UFC cards, that you're thinking about scooping some up. Those products to me seem to be, the market's leaned more towards the known instead of the unknown, the established current players that have made the name for themselves, the Jalen Hurts, the CJ Strouds, even though he's just a rookie, he just had one of the best rookie years arguably in NFL history. Pat Mahomes is always going to be a hot commodity. It's what I'm saying, the star players are, but whereas baseball, it seems, at least it's not the entire market, but it seems like a huge part of the market is all on these prospects, which is no different than going to the gas station and spending $50 on scratchers,
Okay.
You might make a payday, but you might lose $50 on scratchers.
Yeah.
Have some nice cards to look at the end of it.
Right.
I like that because it's kind of like you have to be in the know in order to know what you have. Like kind of follow these players even from college to know you're sitting on goal when you.
Yeah, there's people who follow these kids out of high school and like I'm kicking myself in the ass. Like 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to invest in Jordan Walker, the hot young rookie for the Cardinals, and his autos were anywhere from $25 to $50 on a high end. And now you can't find his autographs because, of course, they're all rookie autographs now, but they're no less than 75, 80 on just base autos. And God forbid you pull like a Topps Inception RPA that's numbered to, even if it's only numbered to 199, that card's still $150 to $180 card.
Right.
And so I just kicking myself in the ass. I missed my window to buy in on him because just like with Mike Trout, with Albert Pujols, I'm probably not going to be acquiring one of those autographs or early really good rookies for a long time. A long time.
But it's all, like you said, at the time, it's a gamble. It's hard to tell.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the way that selling platforms are out there these days. I've turned Kyle onto this, but there's an app called Mercari out there that you can use, and I've actually bought quite a few cards through the years. I had several Memphis Grizzlies autos because I live right across the river from Memphis.
Okay.
I like that, so I'm a Grizzlies fan.
Yeah.
And I had. Fan? I mean, I'll watch them, but as long as they're not playing Philly, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
But I've bought a Yadier Molina, whose jersey I'm rocking. I brought an autograph from his on there and was able to acquire it over a 2-month period, paying like $25, $28 every 2 weeks instead of having to pay like $130 out of pocket. So, that it's a lot different than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, trying to be in the card hobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious. There's a lot of questions I have, and we talk about conspiracy and everything too, but we kind of zone in and focus on a lot of different rabbit holes, and I feel like there's a rabbit hole here too because I've recently got into like the NFT cards as well. You guys, do they have that for baseball, and how's that going?
Yeah.
As well?
They're actually. Topps, which is owned by Fanatics now, and Panini are in the NFT game, and these NFT cards are going some of them for a couple $10,000. Like
oh shit, I didn't know that.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Right.
If you every once in a while, I don't know if y'all have heard of the Sports Card Nonsense podcast. They haven't. I actually follow them on Fanatics Live. That's an app for nothing but card breaks. I mean, they break everything from UFC to Pokemon to Magic to F1 to football. I mean, they break it all on there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I follow them on that app, and they talk about the card hobby in general from all aspects. Like there's a dude in Sports Card Nonsense group that breaks nothing but Pop Century, which is like celebrity autographs, and every once in a while you'll pull a sports autograph, but it'll be like you could pull an Al Pacino autograph or a William Shatner or something crazy, something
no idea.
pop culture. It's really cool. But they talk about how the NFT game ever so often. I've heard them over the last month talk about it maybe 2 or 3 times, how these NFTs are just exploding.
Right.
It's crazy.
I thought they had died out. Like, that whole wave, I thought it was already done.
Well, the thing is, NFT encompasses a whole shitload of possible products. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
I mean, it's literally an endless possibility for what you can market as an NFT because it's just an image.
Okay.
I mean, you can image anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like this NFT game is also, like we talked about, you have to be in the know in order to know what you have. It's kind of based on potential as well. Just in case it does pop, I have the rookie NFT,
At the end of the day, something's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay for it.
Right, exactly.
I can say that Mickey Mantle card is worth $5,000 all day long. If there ain't a fool on earth that'll pay $5,000 for it, that card's not worth $5,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's true.
The market is very fluid. Like, if I were to take a card off my shelf right here and try to sell it, I would have to go to eBay and look up that specific card, go into the sold listings, and look at over the last, depending on how many sales there were in a time period. It might be a 2-week time period. It might be a 2-month time period that I'm looking at. But what's the average price of sale over that time period? And that's about roughly what I can ask without being drugged through the mud on Facebook for pricing something too high, because there are some straight up immature assholes in the card hobby game.
They're everywhere.
I've seen grown men sitting there, and I mean grown, like I'm 33, but I'm talking about grown men, 50-something, 60-something-year-old men sitting there. As soon as the lady gets done stocking the Walmart shelf, they're on it. And there's like a little kid, and they're just get the fuck
boxing
out of
him
the way,
out.
kid. Yeah. Play like he's posting up LeBron or something.
Because they take all of them.
Swimming through.
They'll take all of them a lot of times.
I hate to side tangent right quick, but I accidentally said the magic word, and I feel like I should address something to y'all's followers.
We'll get on it. We'll get into that because you did say another magic word in the wrestling topic too that I want to get into as well. Hopefully Zach comes back on. I think he's getting his computer right. But fuck LeBron, man. I don't like him either.
LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron.
I don't.
He's not even like the top 10 greatest NBA players ever. He's
Hey, bro, I will tell you this.
Fluke on the face of the planet.
I believe certain key celebrities have a bunch of bots that are already programmed to counter anything you say. I think Taylor Swift is one. I think Beyonce was one. LeBron James is definitely one of them as well.
Absolutely. And
so it's crazy.
And the fact that there's probably, the supporting evidence for your claim is outstanding, because I didn't say anything that wasn't, I guess it was an opinionated statement, but it was pretty factual. I don't know if y'all have seen clips of how, Nikola Jokic is from Serbia. I don't know if y'all have seen clips of how basketball games go down in Serbia.
Oh, they're crazy.
He recently was there was a clip of him floating around the interwebs that was like, how are you going to react when the crowd's doing all this? And he looks at the reporter and laughs and says, "Brother, I'm from Serbia." and it's insane what he had to play with growing up. I can guarantee you Game 7 of the NBA Finals or whatever. I don't know how many games are in the NBA Finals. Is it 5?
I think it might be 7.
It could go to 7.
Best of first of 4. So however many it takes.
Cool. Yeah, there's no atmosphere that could rattle Jokic. And what I said was that, yeah, come on, dude. They're still playing.
Is this the fucking
era basketball.
Khabib basketball shit?
That basketball. But it's not only that; it's like the
This
crowd
ain't it, right?
too.
No,
In
that's
Serbia.
not. No, that's. They do get down with that, but that's not. No.
Damn.
But Jordan played in an era where certain teams with certain people down low, you did not go in for a dunk. It didn't matter how bad you could dunk on somebody. You just didn't do it because you might get your neck broke because they're taking your legs out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't
boys.
you weren't dunking on Patrick Ewing just all willy-nilly. You weren't just gonna run in the lane all sweet on Charles Barkley. You know what I'm saying? Shaq wasn't just gonna let you and get to the rim. Like, these men hurt people out there on a daily basis. And so when I said that the only player from the modern day era that can go and play in Jordan's era is Nikola Jokic just because he came from Serbia, I feel like that's a very valid statement. LeBron can't even play in today's era. Where it's nauseatingly legislated by the officials. These players can't do anything. And he's out there flopping.
What do you think about James Harden?
He had a good run 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I don't think he'd be able to play in that era either, though.
No, like I don't think there's. KD's not playing in that era. Maybe Anthony Edwards.
I get what you guys are saying, but it's also true that each player is a product of their environment, right? So if Jordan played today, he wouldn't have to play like he played when he was playing. But I get what you're saying, though.
You got to take advantage of the rules, right? If the game changes, then the rules are obviously, you know what I mean, different tools you could use in order to take advantage.
You got to adapt.
The game.
You got to adapt.
Right, you got to adapt.
Absolutely.
But if you pluck even LeBron in his prime and drop him back into 1993, he's not surviving. He's not the LeBron James he ever was in his modern career. And I think if you take Jordan and drop him in this league, he's better than Steph Curry. He's going to dominate everything.
So this is my problem with LeBron. I think LeBron's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think LeBron's a great player. Get me wrong.
As long as he's got three other superstars next to him.
It goes back to knowing. It goes back to cards. Trade like the sports card, knowing your prospects. And, kind of banking on them to be successful. Do you guys think the bigger conspiracy here, this is, where I weave in the conspiracy stuff. The biggest conspiracy here is, do you think certain players are groomed for success? And obviously, depending on who's backing them, who's grooming them, can dictate, hey, man, like, let's get these players around them. Well, let's send them to a team.
Yeah.
LeBron is a great example of this. He's been meddled with in high school, and I don't know. I think there was a case. Zach's back. I don't know if Zach knows, but wasn't there a case with LeBron in high school where Nike was kind of colluding, or someone was colluding with him, or the NBA was? I forget what it is, but
I mean, any sport, I feel like they'll do that once they see someone that's got talent.
Right.
Automatically, they're going to start feeding that fire,
Right. So going back to kind of play style, we'll put a bookmark in that because I want to talk about another basketball conspiracy theory that kind of goes with that. But I feel like it's all about money, right? If we talk about the guiding hand and who's pulling strings, China's a huge fucking market for the NBA, right? And sure. LeBron has been almost like a Freudian slip for that. I feel like, So my thing is the play style, it's changed because of viewership. People weren't dunking back in the days, Michael Jordan started smashing on people. People started going crazy. There was a different demographic of people coming to games, you were getting different reactions from the crowd. You see that with And One when people are throwing basketballs off people's heads and dancing and shit. Like there's a certain kind of showmanship with that. And I feel like the elites know that, or whoever is in control of the product knows that. And so when they're looking at, numbers and retainmentship over like who's watching, and they see, hey man, we got to have more dunks. So they sign players that are more, dunkers. And even though certain scouts are like, hey, he doesn't really, he's not really that good at defense. He doesn't really have a shot. The agents can be like, hey, trust me. You know what I mean? Like your viewership will go up because of this. Maybe you could teach him to shoot, maybe have a mediocre shot, but when he gets in the paint and he jams on it, trust me, it'll up, fucking jersey sales and your tickets. Mm-hmm. And so they change the rules up, they kind of cater it now for these highlights to transpire. So
yeah, there's truth to like what you're saying for sure. But like the game is like, it's still you can't be Jordan unless you have that talent. Your talent cannot be one-sided, right? Even if they change the rules to cater to a certain type of style or play, the player still has to have talent.
Well, that's where the referees
his mentality, right? his Jordan's mentality is just superior to LeBron's. Jordan's work ethic was superior to LeBron's. Like it's not even a level of what they've done stat-wise.
It's his competitiveness too.
Exactly. It's the fact that I've seen LeBron flop act like he got hit and wasn't even touched.
Like he's playing soccer.
You would never see Jordan do that. You would never see Jordan.
You never see Kobe do that.
Fake something at all. You would never see Allen Iverson do that. Like you would. There's a whole generation of basketball players that probably can't even agree with LeBron because of his poor morals on the court. Like, and then let's not even talk about the butchering of Space Jam, one of probably the most beloved movies of all time.
I didn't even watch it.
Did you watch it, bro?
For research purposes.
Oh man, I've had it on my list just to. I saw that there was a scene with Clockwork Orange guys in there. They had a cameo in the second Space Jam. I think so because it was a whole WB verse, right? Or Warner Brother verse that popped up.
I don't know. I never watched it.
Yeah. But I haven't seen it either. So
I probably need to watch Clockwork Orange.
Oh, you haven't seen Clockwork Orange?
Oh
man,
fucking wild!
That movie is crazy. But yeah, so I think I don't know. I feel like the flopping thing is not a fully developed evolution of exploiting that rule. I feel like Michael Jordan and you see Kobe doing it. They practice after the flop. They practice shooting after contact to make sure that they get an and one because 3 points is better than 2 points. And if I can get 3 points in the paint, why not get that? So I think the flopping in the air and just canceling out the opportunity to get another point. I get what you're saying. Like the thing, like I said about LeBron and the guiding hand and why I went on that tangent is I think he's a great player, but to put him in the likeliness of Kobe and Michael Jordan, that's why I said if there was a sword of Arthur that was a basketball, you think he's really the chosen one. Motherfucker has chosen one tatted on his back. You know what I mean? I was going to say that the guiding hand put the label on him, but I feel like he's putting the label on him. He's wearing 23. He's in the Lakers. That's kind of a culmination of Kobe and Jordan, if you think about it. It's blasphemous to the basketball gods. And I think he's kind of doing that in order to get his name up there, which I get it, but I feel like that's why he's also getting the hate from it. You know what I mean? Because he's not,
Yeah, and for him to call himself that, is like, it's gross. It's like irritating.
But
if
all that aside, go ahead, Chef.
Right, if someone else were to give you that name, like, dude, you are the chosen one, like you are the Black Mamba, like someone else gives you that name, but like for you to choose that, like I am God, I am the chosen one, like get the fuck out
dude.
of here. I remember watching many. I used to watch a lot of basketball a few years ago, and I always considered LeBron as one of the greatest actresses in the NBA because he just acts. You watch him flop around. It's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like,
I think Zach's the only one with love for LeBron, so he finally made it in. But I'm about to kick him out if he talks some shit. I'm just kidding.
I just sent you a clip on the group chat that maybe you could pull up on the stream that'll explain Kobe, which to me, Kobe and Jordan's mentality are pretty much identical. I mean, Jordan himself said the only person that could ever rival him was Kobe.
Right. And I saw that clip.
This was during the time of LeBron in his prime that Jordan said that. So.
And dude, Jordan like respected and like loved Kobe, like as a player and a man,
because Kobe respected and loved Jordan. That's that's another big problem with LeBron is LeBron will never put them above himself publicly. He will never come out and say that those are the GOATs. Those have some humility for the one time. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Game. You said I'm running through Powell's chest.
We was like, what?
You tripping.
Dwayne Wade's
That's
another
your
one.
teammate. You tripping. You ain't about to do that.
He said, first play of the game, I know what they're going to run. And he knew Powell's going to be the last screen. And he said, I'm running through that motherfucker.
I swear the first play of the game.
Oh, yeah.
We was like, holy shit.
He just went right to the middle of my chest, try to get right through me to send a message, to not just to me, but to his teammates. Say, hey, this might be my brother. Play with him. We're close. but I don't care about anything else but winning.
I'm right there in front of the Miz, like, wow, yo.
Chris
He
Bosh.
was like, no, he ain't my teammate right now. And get up. I'm like, I love this energy. This is what we need.
We was like, he did that to his teammate. Oh my God. We was like, anyway, we losing this game. We about to beat the out of this man. Hopes.
There you go. LeBron and James riding another teammate. He's like, we're about to win this game. But see, the thing is, first of all, Chris Bosh got a lot of hate when he was in Miami. People should apologize. That guy was pretty good for his position.
Yeah.
Second of all, there's only a few weird things that make me cry. And seeing Pau Gasol take care of Kobe's daughters and hang out with his family, that shit makes me tear up, bro.
It's amazing.
And to see this clip and see that dynamic of that friendship, bro, that's fucking friendship, bro.
But the fact that
shit.
Kobe was able to completely mentally separate and turn one of his best friends into an absolute enemy and treat him as such simply for the purposes of being able to play his best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what made Kobe Kobe. And I feel you, bro. Like, I shed real tears the day we lost Kobe. And I still think there was a bunch of fuck shit that went down around that, But
Mark, yep.
Yeah. I just got to say, about Kobe, there was one person, I forget who the fuck said this, but someone said that Kobe, the type of person that he was, his mentality, it doesn't matter like what age he was born in, he would be someone who like excels in anything he does.
Yeah.
He's just that type of spirit. And I believe that.
Yeah. I saw this clip of a bunch of NBA players going through an Achilles injury and getting carried off. And then they showed Kobe and he shot the free throws and he told his teammates, "No, let me walk this off."
Yeah. But LeBron gets poked in the eye and they got to bring a stretcher out. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's fundamental,
I was going to say
differences.
The thing I hate about LeBron, I can't hate on the flopping because my favorite player is James Harden. And,
I'm sorry.
We exploit the. I feel like I play basketball, and if I'm down 5 and and you're on a run, I might call some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at that about LeBron. What I hate about him is how he brings in the politics, or he talks about shit that he doesn't even really know. Like, I know there's 2 things off the top of my head. One is when he didn't really send people out for that cop for this misunderstanding that he had. He tweeted something about some incident that happened with a police officer. And this was around the time when, the defund the police stuff was happening. And he brought that into the game, and he brought people towards he brought not a lynch mob, but he pretty much had a bunch of haters over to the police officer. But the other one is the free Hong Kong stuff, right? I think
I didn't even hear about that.
Not Jack Dorsey, one of the owners of the Houston Rockets said something about Hong Kong.
Daryl Morey.
Yeah, there you go. Daryl Morey. And LeBron James criticized him. You know something, Chef?
Yeah, so I actually know this dude. We should get him on, but he's actually, I believe it's I could be wrong, it's either the Houston Astros or the Houston Rockets, but he works for the billionaire. He's the billionaire's assistant that runs that. Anyhow, that'd be a fun
Hell
thing.
Yeah. That'd be a fucking good rabbit hole. Yeah, and he said something about like being ignorant to certain. He pretty much described himself, right? And he does these fucking like publicity stunts where he has a book in interviews and he's reading a book and they ask him about the book and he's like, "Oh, I just started reading this shit."
His biggest publicity stunt was that school he opened, that I Promise school. And I'm looking at an article from August of 2023, and it says not one I Promise 8th grader has ever passed Ohio's math or English or science test. It goes on to say that that the state test scores in English and science are in the bottom 5% of all black students in Ohio.
Broken promises.
It was all a
Hashtag
publicity stunt.
It looks good on paper, though.
It was like, that reminds me of Oprah's school over there in Africa that she, her child trafficking hub that she runs under the guise of a school.
Jeez.
Oh my God. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oprah is another fucking rabbit hole too. But who did I bookmark? We bookmarked Kobe. But go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I was just like went on like a YouTube binge recently, and I saw that not too long ago 50 Cent had a big beef with Oprah because apparently she was like doing some stuff where where she was shunning like people's careers in the entertainment industry. And I don't know, it's crazy, but
she's blacklisting people or what?
Yeah, exactly. And and 50 Cent is basically like, why why are you not helping, our people, basically
Right.
people in the black community. And she's just doing like weird shit. I don't remember all the details, but I was hoping one of you may have heard of it.
I haven't heard of that, but I mean, when it comes to her and she's one of the if I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty freaking sure she's one of the richest, if not the richest woman in the world.
Okay.
And then not even to get deep down into the Maui shit, but just for like a point of reference, you got her and Dwayne Johnson saying that they need donations to help out people in Maui. Like, you need the poor people to donate
The people
to Maui when you're the richest woman in the world or close to it. Like, that to me speaks volumes on her character.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. What I want to say about Oprah, and this is where I take it in a weird, trippy, fucking.
I thought we were there already.
Yeah.
You said Oprah, so you opened it. So, we talked about. We talk about conspiracy on this podcast. We talked about the Hillary Clinton emails and the Nephilims and what's called the Tomb of Gilgamesh being open, right? Who's technically a Nephilim. And they mentioned the resurrection chamber. I just looked this up. 2 Samuel 21:20 from the Bible. And there was again war at Gath, where was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number. Okay, so 6 fingers, 6 toes. And I said the elites might be aliens, right? And Nephilims are aliens. Oprah has 6 toes, bro. I mean, is that a coincidence or what? Look it up, bro.
I don't know.
I think she's not human, bro. Fool. Like, what's also interesting is there's Homo sapiens and there's Homo sapiens sapiens. So there's already like different humanoids, you know what I mean? So that's not a conspiracy theory for there to be like beings, but different. Same, but different. You know what I mean? So
I thought I was the only one that said that.
Yeah, dude,
the thing is,
recently watched that shit. But
with
yeah,
stuff like that, like the 6 toes thing, just that specifically, it's just because the media just will take any little piece of information and exploit it, whether they know it to be true or not. It's hard to it's like, how the fuck do whatever source you saw it from, it's like, how the fuck do they know that? Did they literally see it with their own 2 eyes? You
want to see a picture of her foot, dog, or what?
No, that's all I'm saying. It's like, but even if you see one online, how do you know that that's legit? Is what I'm saying.
Let's see.
Question everything, huh?
I'm signed up. I'm signed up for OnlyFans, so.
Cool. You beat me
OF.
to it.
Oh shit!
Oprah's feet. Oprah friends. Here we go.
Bro.
Yeah, I just saw that picture.
Okay.
Looks
Yeah.
Nephilim to
God.
me.
That's some gang signs, ain't it?
He's throwing them games.
But you got what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. The thing is, what you're saying is, I hear too, is if something lines up, dude, that's biblical. You know what I mean? So that predates any fucking media, I think. Now, when the media is trying to discredit that, and, oh, 6 stars, oh, you know what I mean? Then they might be trying to blur the truth, I feel like, is what I think.
Yeah, I looked it up too, and they're trying to say it's a bunion. It's a tailor's bunion. No, bitch, that's another toe. That's it.
That's a fucking toe.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what we consider a toe, but that's a. Yeah, I would bet. I'm not a betting man, but I would bet some money that that's a 6th toe.
So yeah, it's
I've
pretty
never
crazy.
heard
It's biblical, bro. It's biblical too. So that's that. So that's what I think about Oprah. Now going back on sports, so I can bridge sports into this world. What do you think, Hank? Do you think all of sports are fake? Do you think it's all WWE? You think WWE is the real blueprint of what we're watching right now? Because you're a WWE fan as well, right? You used to be.
I used to be really hardcore, but I fell off the wagon. I understand the world that I live in. I know what's going on. I see the signs. I see the symbols. I'm still able to thoroughly enjoy myself when I turn on this game. And I will continue to do so. I call it blue pilling, call it being ignorant, call it whatever you want, but I will not let the truth of the matter ruin my good time, for better or for worse. There is obviously rigging. The NFL whipped it out in front of everybody this year and said, we really just don't care. But I think baseball is probably the least rigged sport, just because I don't see how you could rig it. I mean, without having several players on the involved rigged games being in on it. And I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying I would like to think that there's a level of gentlemanship still left in baseball to where it's at least more intact than football. And I don't watch that much basketball anymore, so I can't really speak to that. But yeah, sure, man. I mean, we all know it's rigged, but at the end of the day, why do I want to let that ruin the one thing in this life that I have to just chill out with? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I think college sports is probably the most rigged sports of all, simply because they can get away with more. Like there ain't no way Alabama was really that damn good all them years. Like to get all those players to keep going to the school. I mean, I get it, reputation and all that, but there's how many other elite colleges throughout the world. USC hasn't been shit since Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. Like they can't buy a winning, a championship season, and they've tried. Texas can't do anything, and I mean, as much as they're trying, you've just got all these perennial powerhouses that pale in comparison to which not Alabama anymore, because Nick Saban hung it up, and I am really happy about that, because my poor Hogs, we need every advantage we can get on the football field, and not having to play Nick Saban really helps in the SEC. I mean, hell, it wasn't when it's been in my lifetime that I've seen the Razorbacks number 3 country in the nation. Like, we were there. Like, I feel like we got fucked out of a chance for a national championship in 07, 08, when Alabama, LSU, and Arkansas were 1, 2, and 3 in the country. But I mean, I just think that, of course, the professional sports have rigging in them, but at the end of the day, I still love sports, man. I can't help it.
I don't know. For me, it's like when I hear people talk about it, I see why they would say that or why they might think that. But it's just like, so for example, I'm not familiar as much with baseball and all the rules and whatnot, but for football, it's like, I don't know how, like, you could get everybody in on it, without it looking ridiculous. Like, there's still there's shit that happens during games that are 100% authentic, right? Like in let's say like a high school football game when kids are just playing to play. Bullshit things happen. There's little mistakes and errors that happen. Like in the NFL, you're at like high stakes. Like, people sacrifice their bodies in the NFL. Like there can be devastating injuries. Like, so it's like for it to be rigged and someone to be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this play off, But what if this guy comes at me like full speed and hits me right in the chest and things happen like that? That defensive back from the Bills, all of a sudden your heart stops. Yeah, I feel like there's too much at risk for the players for it to be like who's rigging it? At what level does it stop? Is it the coaches calling bullshit plays? I don't know.
There's a clip that's been floating around Instagram recently, and it's from a guy that played in one of the early Super Bowls with the Baltimore Colts. And he was talking publicly about how he felt that game was rigged. And the dude that was giving him the interview asked him, how could the game be rigged? And he said, all you got to have is the officials and at least one of the quarterbacks.
Okay.
As long as you have one of the quarterbacks in on it, you can make it happen.
Yeah, the coach could be losing his shit and it doesn't matter. You could be calling any play you want.
Apparently, because I don't know early 70s football, it was the year that the AFL and the NFL merger happened, and the Super Bowl. It was the first Super Bowl between the Baltimore Colts and the New York Jets, who had, was a new franchise, and the guy that played for the Colts said, we had one of the best quarterbacks of the era, and in the first half, we had 5 trips to the end zone and came away with no points. He was like, "How that doesn't happen with our quarterback."
Right.
He was like, "I've seen several times guys open and he just throw it the complete opposite way." Oh,
okay, so that makes sense. Stuff like that.
Yeah, he was like, but it had to happen. The game had to be fixed because it was the merger year, and the Jets had to win it to signify that the merger was credible. If the Baltimore Colts would have just dog walked the new guys, then it's just more of the same. That doesn't gin up the excitement and revenue sales for these new incoming teams. Mm-hmm. And so the way that guy laid it out, it sounded pretty cut that you don't need everybody. You just need the officials, which we know the officials are part of it. And at least one of the 2 quarterbacks. It's great if you can get both quarterbacks.
So now that you say that does make sense. So I recently I saw this documentary clip on Doug Flutie. He was the quarterback for the Bills for a little bit, and he took them on a winning streak that led them to the playoffs, and all of a sudden benched him for the guy that they had added in the offseason or whatever. And they got their shit kicked in the most important game of the season. Yeah. So I could see that could be something along those lines.
I guarantee you, he probably wasn't willing to go along with the script, and so they sat his ass on the bench.
Probably, because even the coach came out and said, the head coach at the time, he came out and said, he said something like, it was above my pay grade or something.
Right. See, when people are saying shit like that, you know what I mean? Why
You're
even
saying it without saying it? Yeah.
Why would you say that? And I think Kobe and Michael Jordan were one of those players that, heard the script and were like, nah, fuck that, because they were the crazy ones to be like, I want to win, I want to take.
Or maybe the script was written for them to win, just playing devil's advocate.
Well, to devil's advocate that, maybe they went against the script, and that's why what happened to Michael Jordan's dad happened.
Sure.
And that's why what happened to Kobe happened as well. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy shit, bro.
Just as a bit of a, I know you bookmarked it earlier, Jerezy, but I'll never forget that pod you sent me from the the tinfoil hats on Kobe.
Yeah, the source of that was apparently like a shill, though. So
It still gave me chills
Yeah.
listening to it, though.
yeah, but apparently the theory is that Kobe was filing a lawsuit against a Chinese pharmaceutical company that was trying to trademark the term Black Mamba for some kind of opiate, drug that had opiates in it.
Yep.
So Kobe was about to go to court the day he flew. I think the day after or the day before he flew, and eventually crashed. So the conspiracy theory is that he was fighting bigger defenders. You know what I mean?
Well, that makes sense though. If you think about like, but I mean, if you think about like the opiate epidemic that we have been going through for the last fucking 20 years, 30 years. Yeah. Like to shine light on that. And I'm sure Bill Gates' little bitch ass dude has something to do with that as well, dude. Fuck that guy. As far as like the depopulation and what goes, like what better way to like the fentanyl crisis, and it's all coming from China. You got the cartels in Mexico that have like Chinese chemists and what have you that are creating these things. Like to me, it's all clicking right now as we're speaking. But yeah, there was definitely some tomfoolery going around as far as like Kobe's death, and as far as Michael Jordan's dad, like I almost think that might have been like a sacrifice. I don't know. Could have been a some satanic ritual sacrifice or what have you. But
he did win 6 rings. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just kidding.
To throw some more
confirmed
supporting evidence back there or out there that people who try to speak too loud about the wrong things end up getting punished. I mean, you can look at Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. They were in the midst of making a documentary to expose the pedo rings and stuff, and
also that chef too.
Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain.
I thought you were talking about Mike Obama's chef. Sorry, my bad.
No, Anthony Bourdain. And they all got hung in very, very weird ways that you normally wouldn't see people off themselves in.
Man, that's crazy.
And then for Chris Cornell's wife to go out there and said, "Oh no, he just had an obsession with erotic asphyxiation, and he took it too far this time." Like, come on, dude.
No, I have a documentary I'll share in the group chat that will completely obliterate all of that. Chris Cornell was found with broken ribs. He was found with broken ribs. Okay, you're not gonna hang yourself and then like beat your rib, like break ribs. Like no. Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain, by the way, is one of my heroes. I love that guy. One of the greatest chefs of all time, in my opinion. But yeah, no, they didn't. No, that's not how that happened.
Yeah,
I heard some stuff about Bourdain, man. I'll do more research and we'll talk. Maybe we'll do an episode.
Just to clarify, because I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. So, if I remember correctly, with Jordan's dad, it's that he was like, he was found on the side of the road, right?
Yeah,
in his car. Missing. Yeah, and then he was found in his car.
Oh shit! Okay.
So kidnapped and assassinated is what that sounds like.
Or
in court.
feel the burden for like someone with your level of like sports knowledge for those topics, like those conspiracies. Where do you stand on that?
The evidence is pretty damning when it comes to stuff like that. Like it's just weird to think that he was like, it wasn't something that was deliberate, because like if he was reported missing and then they found him 2 weeks later on the side of the road in his car and he was shot, like that just, I mean, I don't know. It's just he could have gone on a bender and then ended up killing himself, but like I don't know. It's too coincidental. There's certain things I can give a pass to, and there's other things that like it's almost like, all right, like let's take the the wool from your eyes.
Yeah.
That one, like all the Kobe stuff. I mean, That to me feels more like it wasn't set up, like it was just an accident, because of who was involved too. Like if it was just Kobe, I'd probably be more inclined to think that it was
just him and his daughter. But the fact that he had his daughter's teammates and their parents on there as well, it's just like, ooh,
right.
It wouldn't be the first time that our government has not cared for the collateral damage, for lack of a better word. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. So if it was something intentional by the powers that be, maybe the other families, they were just wrong place, wrong time. But
the thing is like the kids are never off limits. We brought up Pizzagate, and they're the targets. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it reminds me of that scene from Scarface where he's like, "No fucking kids, man." You know what I mean? And the guy's like, whatever language. Yeah. Like, no matter how badass you are as a human, I feel like it goes back to Homo sapiens, sapiens, and, different humanoids. I feel like it's a human trait to have some sort of empathy. You know what I mean? Like, I get that you have to do certain things in order to get shit done. But at the end of the day, no matter how programmed you are, like, I feel like even like the hardest warriors have a soft spot. You know what I mean? I feel like. But at the same time, if you don't have that soft spot, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're the hardest warrior. You just might not have a fucking heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether that makes you a different humanoid, I don't know. It's all labels and it's just all a psyop. You feel me?
But I agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement. I do think that, like, when you go down into any sort of rabbit hole, Pizzagate's a great one. It's not a great one. It's a great reference to people that literally just have no fucking souls. Anthony Weiner, and it just, there's so much, and I'm not even gonna go super deep into it. But the fact that like for me at least, like I get fired up. Like I remember seeing this photo on, I think it was on like Instagram or Facebook, and it was this dude that had his dog holed up and had cut off the fucking ears of the dog. Like, dude, you better pray, and I will pray as well that we never see eye to eye, because that's it, dude. That's a wrap for me, dude. I'm going away for a long time, and I honestly, like, as selfish as this may sound, like, I would do. I would fuck you. It would not be good.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with animals. You don't fuck with children. That's the bottom line.
Dude, there's something about seeing people hit dogs that fucking pisses me off. I don't know what.
Dude, I got kicked out of Boy Scouts, bro. I got kicked out of Boy Scouts because of this exact thing. We met up in a church. We were getting ready to go on our little extravaganza, and across the street there was a dude that grabbed his dog. I heard the dog like chirping, like barking. And he grabbed the dog by the nape of the neck. And I'm like 13 at the time, 14. And he sticks the dog's head into the water bowl where the dog couldn't breathe. And I started yelling. And the person, like the chaperone that I was with, one of my buddy's moms, fucking lost her shit, dropped me back off at home, told my mom what happened. And my mom fucking gave me a fist bump, dude, when I got inside. Like, good job.
I raised you right.
Yep. Like, oh, hell no, dude.
What's sad about it is it takes a while for the dog to register what's going on, or even if it's eventually going to defend itself, it takes a while for it to decide that, because it's confused as to why it's getting disciplined. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
But that goes into the people, that's tying back into the fucked up people we have in this world that don't have souls. They just don't have emotion. They don't have remorse. And as soon as we can eliminate, you know what? I think we need to depopulate. I do. Let's depopulate, but let's choose who we're depopulating here, right? Fuck, Bill Gates is onto something, man. Bill Gates is onto something. But we need to depopulate the right group, the right population. Pedophiles, the people that abuse animal and children, the child traffickers, off with their fucking heads.
I had seen something once where in like certain states back in the day, that there was kind of like like an exam or like a process that you had to go through before before you could have a kid. And I think that's probably a good thing for, to happen in society. Like, what the? I mean, there's too many people who end up with children that they shouldn't.
True.
But
that's not always their fault, because they might just be product of somebody who shouldn't have had a child.
That's a good point too.
Well, yeah, for sure.
That cycle just repeats itself.
Yeah. And that's exactly it right there. My uncle, real quick, my grandpa was pretty like abusive, I guess you will. And my uncle is one of the greatest dudes I know. And he would be the greatest dad on the planet. And he will never have a kid. It will not happen because he's so terrified that something would, because he knows it's in his blood. Mm-hmm. It's in his blood to snap.
Yeah.
It's in my blood to snap. And I've snapped. And it happens and it fucking sucks. But my blood pressure, dude, needs to be balanced the fuck out. Now, when I say snap, like, obviously I hold my shit, but like, it's one of those things where like, the idea is, in my opinion, when it comes to things like that, is to break the cycle, is what Zach was saying. You got to break the cycle, and it might take a generation or two, but once you get that down, man, hopefully the rest of your bloodline, the rest of your relatives will kind of catch on to that. Like, remember this grandpa or great grandpa? Like, we're not going to do that no more. That's not how we roll anymore. And I think that's like the biggest thing. And once we flush out all these snakes out of the world, I think it's going to be a much better place. Peace and love.
Yeah, but they have the guns and the nukes, bro. So
I got Jesus, baby. Jesus, baby.
So that's where I want to bring this to. It's crazy because now that I feel like we talk about conspiracy theories, but I don't like to label us as a conspiracy theory podcast, just because that can almost be used as a avatar or a mascot for one, misinformation, and two, to give the information that they want out as the narrative. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I made this joke that dude, the elites don't even need to do anything anymore. They could just leak out a tweet and the conspiracy theorists would just fucking make episodes about it, and that's it. They'll just control the algorithm and boost them. You know what I mean? And usually what happens is like, oh, the audience likes this kind of shit, so I'll make this kind of shit now. You know what I mean? And the thing why I bring this up is conspiracy theories, when you go down the rabbit hole, like really deep into the rabbit hole, it gets discouraging because it's like, man, I have to fight like armies on armies on armies of demons. You know what I mean? There's different collisions of them. And it's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do about Pizzagate? What am I going to do about all this? I feel like some people who talk about Pizzagate and people who like try to exploit that don't do as much as the people who actually like human traffic. You know what I mean? Like the human traffickers, they have open schools. You know what I mean? They give tuitions to people. They provide careers. They also fucking do what they do. But at the same time, it's like, what can we do? You know what I mean? To say that we're actually, doing what we can to make the changes that we need to happen, And I feel like it comes down to bettering yourself, because what you do goes a long way. Like all the little things we do will eventually trickle effect. And if we have kids, hopefully, they can be a better version of us and carry that on generationally. It's just crazy because going down these deep rabbit holes, I feel like if you're not mentally strong and you don't have your wits about you and you don't have a strong stance in your belief system, then you can get lost, bro. You get paranoid. You know what I mean? It's like you could think like your fucking boss is a reptilian and you like really believe it to where you conspire to try to kill him type shit. You know what I mean? Like you get deep and scary if you don't really have like a real grounded center, So I feel like conspiracy theories really ties into just self-improvement and spirituality in a sense.
Well, what's the saying, right? If you stand for nothing, you're gonna fall for anything.
There you go.
And that's kind of what I'm getting out of what you're saying. Like you gotta have something to stand on, dude. Because if you don't have no foundation, dude, you're just gonna fall for everything.
Right.
and I'm guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Same here.
I find it hard to listen to a lot of people in the conspiracy world because it doesn't matter what you say, what angle you come from, what facts you may or may not. Everything is a side, bro. You know, like, and it's just frustrating. Like, fuck, dude, you got to pick something, dude. You are a fence rider from hell, dude. Just like fucking pick something. Believe in something, please, because you're if you don't choose something to believe in, you're just running in circles with no purpose at all. Yeah. You know, if I'm right or wrong, you know, that's to be decided. But at least I got a line in the sand that I can draw and at least try to argue my point. Whereas some people are just kites in the wind, man. You know, they're just at the mercy of the breeze, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. The conspiracy theory community, I feel like, is already diluted with shills. You know what I mean? Fucking psyop agents and shit. And it's hard because, like I said on previous podcasts, we sometimes turn into who we're fighting sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I've low key kind of regretted a little bit, like referring to the show that I do. There's no conspiracy in it, like, but at the same time, I can't say I regret it. That's a fucking lie. Mm-hmm. But hearing
no
what
regrets.
You're saying,
no regrets.
Hey, I met that guy. He had the no regrets tattoo. Yeah, dude. Anyhow, different story.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
Cool guy. I know what you're saying, really though, Kyle. I've been on the verge of rebranding my show for the last 6 months. You know, like, do people look at? Because nobody knows what the 6 + 4 + 3 means. Like I've had people think,
"Oh, Zach does."
What we got, bro? What we got?
That's a double play.
It's a double play. Thank you. That's a double play in baseball. But
I was like, what is that?
I wonder.
We'll talk offline, Kiki. I got you.
Okay.
I've always wondered: do people see 643 and then see conspiracy and just automatically rule me out? And so, like, I've been on the verge of rebranding to 643 double play, which was the original title was going to be the 643 double play conspiracy podcast, but we thought that was a little too much for the old mouth to handle at one time, so we shortened it down a little bit, Hank style.
A lot of syllables.
Yeah. Bite size, but so I mean, I feel what Kyle's saying. Like, it's almost like the name that we've put out there is almost it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Like it's a detriment. You know what I'm saying?
It's a beacon, but it's also a label. Even, you know what I mean?
It's almost like I've backed myself into a box without trying to back myself into a corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've kind of set myself up for some constant level of failure because. Mm-hmm. That's just what comes with being in the conspiracy world. And I get it. I just, like, hey, I do sports too.
So that's what I wanted to get into. The thing, now that I think about it, just as primitive men, you know, if all your duties were to provide for your family, hunt, go to battle, I feel like sports were created to kind of replicate a little competitive atmosphere, but keep it safe, you know? And so the Warriors can kind of play without, you know, exerting themselves, exercising before it was deemed exercise, without having to risk getting killed so that they can, you know, preserve themselves for the battlefield, right?
100%.
So I feel like that's where it started, but then now it's with money involved. And we talked about sports being fake, Pat. What I wanted to say is, yeah, football is really dangerous. Basketball, not really, but you've seen some crazy fucking injuries in basketball.
Hell yeah.
Kyle and I watched MMA. We would argue that MMA is one of the most dangerous sports.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we also watch wrestling. Wrestling is also dangerous, but you can do dangerous shit without making it dangerous. But it looks fucking theatrical, right? Now, if sports are fixed, and only a certain amount of people need to be involved, they can make a play look crazy dangerous, but everyone is good. because it was coordinated. You know what I mean? And it goes back to how we view sports. I feel like knowing that WWE is fake now, we can watch it and enjoy it, you know, because it's we sit back, relax, and we're like, man, I'm just gonna enjoy this shit. I'm in for a ride, you know. And I feel like that's the way to view sports. I feel like, you know what I mean, because you know, we're all pretty sharp. That's why we've gotten involved in conspiracy theories, because we know, like, hey, something's not right, and we grab the whole end of that. So sometimes it's hard to turn that shit off when you're watching sports, because you see that shit in sports too, you know. But when you know that, you know, it's a show, you can kind of turn that off. And when you see it, it's almost exciting to see instead of a red flag. You feel me?
Right. And it's not like I've made sports my life. Like my livelihood, my mood doesn't depend on the success or failure of anything in the sports world. I mean, yeah, I've got real world money that I've worked my ass off for, tied up into the world of sports. When it comes to jerseys, I've got several jerseys, I've got several cards, but at the end of the day, if it came down to it, I could sell off any of this stuff. It's not permanent. It's just to appease me. Like when the Eagles lost to the fucking whoever kicked them out of the playoffs, I didn't care. I knew it was coming. Like, I mean, I don't care. Was I happy as fuck back in 2017, 2018 when they won the Super Bowl? I fuck yeah, I was. But like the Cardinals, my St. Louis Cardinals had the worst season they had in 30 years last year. Was I happy about it? No. Did I still get my ass up and go to work every day and pay my bills and make sure my kids are happy and all? Yeah, like I don't let the sports world completely just drive everything.
Right.
But I'm able to sit there and I can follow players, I can follow stats, I can stay involved with the hot headlines, what's going on, and appreciate it for what it is. It's entertainment. And if you view it as entertainment, then nothing that happens can be a slight to you or you know, a detriment to your mood, because it's no different than watching Raw or SmackDown or something. Like, we all really know what's about to happen, but we're still going to watch it unfold.
Right.
Some of the most primal sports right now, bare knuckle boxing.
Yep.
Number one.
I don't see any fixes over that in that sport. You know, shit is legit. I feel like
Could be
and slap fighting or slap, you know, that slap competition. That shit's not fixed.
Those are fucking insane. Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
would
could
never want to play those.
if you pay someone to take a dive and not fight as hard. I mean, I guess that kind of goes along with the concept with
true
from the movie Longest Yard, because we're talking about football being fixed. So Paul Crewe got shamed for shaving points because when he was quarterback for whatever team, and he had that reputation of being that kind of quarterback. So like it's there. There's room for it in every sport. Like with baseball, I mean, umpires really strike zones fluctuate in that strike zone in the first inning compared to the fifth inning because the runs aren't scoring, or you know you're not getting that play. Like it's there, but like you said, you have to have players involved, and I feel like you know nowadays with that kind of thing, it's a lot harder. I think in this day and age with replay, and I think that was a big reason why leagues didn't want to have replay because they didn't want to be able to have those calls get checked. Because like everyone hid behind the human element of these things, but it's like I'm sitting there as a fan, like I want the right calls 100% of the time.
Right.
I want the right call every single time, and I'll watch a 4-hour game to get that because that to me leaves no doubt.
Yes.
So like, yeah, I just want I want the right shit. I want the right calls.
You're so right.
Is that too much to ask for?
It takes the magic out of it too.
How much you want to pay for that? No.
Call a fucking hold in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, god damn it. I'm tired of this.
What about No, you want to talk about a holding call? There was a play in the first half where the 49ers dude had a Chiefs player wrapped up by the fucking neck and took him to the ground.
That dude slipped.
While C-Mac runs for a touchdown, and I'm just...
Well, there was that shit with Snead, too. When they called that foul on Snead, and The
With the hold?
49ers guy was the one who started the aggression.
How long? It's every time one of these fights in any sport breaks out, it's always the person who
guy.
retaliates that gets called.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As a 49er fan, I mean, we were talking about not being affected by these games and shit. What is it, Saturday?
My thing is if we're talking about the Super Bowl, there was bullshit calls and missed calls for both teams all game long.
Yeah.
Well, Zach was talking about some fuckery going on before the Super Bowl with the training facilities, too.
Oh, the 49ers were bitching about their practice facilities for 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, goddamn right. They had to go play on a turf field because there wasn't any natural grass out there. So they brought in grass to put on the turf field, and surprise, didn't work.
Kind of what happens in the winter.
That's annoying. It is. But it's weird that the Chiefs get the Raiders facility.
They're reigning champs.
That's weird.
Yeah, you're right. I think that they would share the field, right?
Well,
Zach,
can't share the field.
I got your back, dude. Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. Fuck Kelsey. Fuck Mr. Pfizer. And fuck Taylor Swift. And fuck the number 13.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm just for me personally, for the most penalized offensive line, and they don't get a holding call against them, is just that in and of itself is just crazy to me.
So, real quick, did you guys see? I know you guys have seen it. Where
Which one are you going to talk about?
So with Patrick Mahomes, when he supposedly went out of bounds, and he was a couple yards shy.
Oh my God! Thank you for bringing this up.
Yeah, so I've heard two sides of this, and I'm
going to tell you the only side to it, Kyle.
There's one side to it.
There's the side to it, and that side is that shit's not official on the TV.
Yep.
The shit that's on the TV is being relayed to them by people on the ground. Just because the TV said it was 1st and 10, that was a fuck up on CBS. That wasn't a fuck up on the officials. The officials had it on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So so did it end up being a 1st and 10 after CBS fucked it up?
No, it was never a 2nd 1st and 10.
It was second and short when they snapped the ball. And then Mahomes ran for the first down, and then they got the first down.
What I saw was it was on a 1st and 10. Mahomes ran for 2 or 3 yards. It should have been 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, and when they lined up to the scrimmage again, it said 1st and 10 again. When it should have said 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 8. On the field, the chain gang had it as 2nd down, but the TV had it as 1st down.
Yeah, before the play ran. Because when you look at the chain gang from the video, when Mahomes is scrambling, he runs past the guy with the marker, and it's 2nd down, and it's 2nd and short, which is why when he goes out of bounds, it comes back in. It's a new set of downs because he ended up getting the first down.
So I think it was just a big clusterfuck of miscommunication from all sides.
Yeah, and that's where you get this is the downside to trying to think everything is like the fix is in, because then you get people that
instantly
looked at that, they saw that, now they're driving it home, but it's wrong. Like the broadcast just messed up, and that's the first time TV's done that.
Not official. Yeah. The TV is not official. Just because that's what we see doesn't mean that that's what's being held to on the field. The officiating crew keeps the down, keeps the time, keeps the play clock, all of that on the field, regardless of what's going on with the scoreboard in the stadium or with the broadcasting crew. How many times have you seen a play end, and then before the next play, they'll either add time to the clock or take time away from the clock because they're two separate entities.
Pumping that thing up, baby.
Yeah. Like the broadcasting crew isn't being the timer for the clock isn't started or stopped by anybody from the officiating crew on the field. It's all from a broadcasting booth. So it's not official. Yeah. So that whole thing was just a hubbub about nothing.
Yeah.
That's crazy that now the replay is starting to get,
tampered with and shit.
Tampered with. Because now I think about basketball, and, when they reviewed a 3-point shot, sometimes they are behind the 3-point line, but based on the angle that they have the camera in, they can.
There's times in NBA and in college where a player will shoot a questionable 3
Mhm.
And if the officials say it's a 2, they will point to the table and they will review it in real time. And if it in fact was a 3-point shot, it might be 3-4 minutes later into the game they will get that extra point.
That's how it should be.
But
Yeah.
but they're not. But they're not going to do that in professional sports because there's too much money to be made. I mean, you look at.
Well, no, I mean that's what they do. Like I've seen
Depends who's winning.
in plenty of NBA games. Like it that's common. Like, but if that's the same to me, that's the same thing as the person who saw that broadcasting gaffe in the Super Bowl, and that's normal. Like that's not anything rare. It just so happened that was the only football game on TV in the whole world, and everybody saw it.
Yeah.
And an idiot and his family ran to Instagram and said, "Oh, it's cheating. It should be second down."
Yeah.
I might have been that guy.
Dude had every Tom, Dick, and Harry plus his mama in the video. Oh, it's cheating. Now they're cheating. No, they're not.
That's
Well,
true, though. That's
this
true,
was this was the most viewed Super Bowl ever in history, right? And
I wonder
mean,
why.
Yeah, obviously because of Taylor Swift, and so there were a lot of.
I mean, look.
There were a lot of casuals. Well, not even casuals. What's below casuals? Checking window shoppers.
Zombies.
There you go.
Taylor Swift moved the national GDP 0.4% by herself this year.
That's power, baby.
Of course, she's going to add hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of viewers to each game she's at. Like,
Easy, Tommy.
I cannot believe the amount of grown men that have gone and on public record and cried about Taylor Swift this year.
Speak on it, Hank.
Oh my God, get your
What are they
panties
crying
out
about?
of your ass. Just
That's
the fact
right.
that she's even a thing.
Yeah,
shit.
that's content,
like-
though.
Oh, look, okay.
That's true.
Regardless of
That's
whether
the thing about the conspiracy theories becoming, you know what I mean? Now the sports are like, hey, they'll talk about Taylor Swift. That's perfect, you know?
And I seen a graphic today, and I don't know how true it is. I don't know how you could. I'm sure some mathematician could pull the footage from the Super Bowl and do the math on it. But I think they said that Taylor Swift got less than 4% TV screen time the entire Super Bowl. But if you were to listen to people talk about it, you'd say she was on the screen every other second.
I mean, the majority of that time
I saw Taylor Swift highlights for the Super Bowl. It's like 23 minutes long. Just kidding.
Hey,
It was 13 minutes, but yeah, you were close.
There you go.
Here's what's dope about it though is all the stuff that she's been showing, like where she's shown and it's the most intense. That's because she's in the fucking game. Like she's actually rooting for
Yeah, she's
football.
got-
She's rooting.
It was during
for
halftime, though.
No, I mean she's vested in that shit.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. She's a fan.
Taylor Swift knew that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl before Marquez Valdez-Scantling did, and he caught the winning catch.
I hate that he caught that, dude.
I know, dude.
I hate that he caught that. NBA.
Bro, my mom.
They should have ended
Sitting
the
on the
game
couch.
right there before regulation. Sorry to cut you off, Kyle, but they had the game won right there on the when they had 10 seconds left.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
Kelsey
in the
was
red
open.
zone.
No.
Rashee Rice was naked in the middle of the field.
Yep.
And even if he would have caught the ball and wouldn't have scored inbounds, they had a timeout to call,
Yeah.
and they would have been on the 2-yard line with 6 seconds left. You're telling me you're not going to try it?
This is before
He was trying to-
overtime?
Yeah,
was
this
trying to
in
feed
the final
Mahomes.
seconds of
I mean,
regulation.
Mahomes trying to feed Kelsey for the game winner.
Yeah, Mahomes had Kelsey drew up before they ever broke huddle.
Yeah.
So that's why Rice was on the sideline.
Yeah, he was in the
Bickering.
middle of the field doing this shit. Like, hey,
That's why
there
Ayuk was pissed,
nobody
too.
within 5 yards of him.
Ayuk was pissed. Same reason. There was a third down late in the game. I think it's what put the Niners up by they're like 19-16. And Purdy, he threw that ball on the right over Jennings.
Yep.
But Ayuk was right open, but someone missed their block, and Chris Jones got up the middle, so Purdy couldn't even like look back at Ayuk. But Ayuk was wide open in the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's a game of inches, boys.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I thought the Niners had it won. I turned it off after the third quarter. I was like,
bro, when the Niners
I'm surprised
missed that
you were
field
watching
goal,
it, bro.
when the Niners missed that point after, when that point after got blocked, I knew it was over with. The fix was in.
Well, there was that. When McCaffrey had that big run on the screenplay, there was also that that part where one of the linebackers for the Chiefs was like on his way to intercept the ball, and then some Niner came out of nowhere and like blocked him. Isn't that? I thought that was a bit questionable too.
Like it should have been pass interference.
No, like it should have. Because of where he was on the field. Like, how isn't there a rule where you can't block the receiver?
You can't blindside block.
I'm sorry. The receiver cannot block like a defender when it's a pass play, right?
But if it's beyond like
5 yards,
3 yards, yeah.
Or no, yeah,
beyond that,
yeah.
So the linebacker was not even he wasn't even past the line of scrimmage, but. Yeah.
And I want to say, both teams, I think it was the 49ers on the McCaffrey touchdown in the second half and on the Chiefs touchdown that won the game. Both teams had an eligible lineman downfield.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't even notice that.
Yep. Yeah, go back and look at it. It's there. It's pretty obvious.
But that route that, what's his name ran? The guy who, was it, Hardman?
Mecole Hardman?
Yeah. That route, that everybody's been using that route where they fake like they're going to motion or something, and then they pop back out. Like the Raiders were using that a lot with Renfro for a while.
Yeah. That was the same play that won the Chiefs the Super Bowl against my Eagles last year. They ran that they ran it 3 times in the Super Bowl last year, and it worked every time.
That's what they call that route, as a corn dog?
Corn dog, yeah. Because what they're looking at is if the linebacker is going to stay with the running back, and when the receiver motions, you could see it too in the Niners defense, and I hate it. But you can see them their eyes shift and they kind of shuffle over a little bit. And once you get that little bit of hesitation, when that receiver cuts back around, he's going to be wide open. It literally will take the safety coming down or a linebacker abandoning their assignment to jump that route and pick it. But at that point, Mahomes will see that and just dump it off to the running back.
Yep.
It's a genius route. Yeah.
Andy Reid.
He's a bad man.
Yeah. Always has been. As an Eagles fan too, I'm I've been hearing a lot about this narrative with Shanahan's going on that Andy Reid path of always getting close but not being able to finish.
Yep.
And I'm just I just hope it doesn't take 15 years and him switching from a different team because I love him on the Niners.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I saw a video on Instagram earlier today. Some fellow was on there and he predicted the next 4 Super Bowl matchups. Mm-hmm. And I think the Niners are involved in 3 of them, but they lose them all. So, I mean, at least you make it the next 3 times.
Is this the guy that's predicted the last 5?
I think so.
Because I heard about this guy that's predicted the last 5 Super Bowls, and he's been right every single time.
Peter Schrager does that on NFL.
Okay. Is that the guy?
He's got the 49ers losing to
Bengals?
Kansas City, to the Bengals, and to the Patriots.
Could you bet on that? Could you bet on the Niners making it to the Super Bowl next year?
Yeah.
I'm sure as soon as
they have the lowest odds.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as the season opens.
Or the best
lowest.
Odds. However it works. Whatever the least
chance.
amount.
Do you think they're favored?
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the favorite for the champs and for the NFC champs.
Okay, so that means the payout won't be too high.
I laughed so hard when it was an hour after the Super Bowl and someone posted the graphic of who has great. Now I get to go through this whole shit again next year. Yeah. Maybe we'll win it this year, hopefully. That'd be nice. 7. I have 7 in Brock Purdy's fucking losses.
Yeah.
I don't think Brock Purdy's him.
We'll see what happens.
You don't think he's human?
No, I don't think Brock Purdy's the guy.
I'm sorry. You said him. I thought you said human. I was
he's a Nephilim. He's got 6 toes, bro. Check it out.
Dude, I just like the underdogs though. So, I'm stoked for Purdy to be where he's at. He's in a position he's not supposed to be.
I mean, he's the best Mr. Irrelevant ever.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's dope, dude, that Brock Purdy, he's so young, man. From what I have seen, he's a good dude. He has good morals. He's shapeable. You know what I mean? The organization can kind of get him to
Mold
where
him.
they want him to be.
Yeah.
And hopefully with his ideas and views in line with that. So I don't know. I think he's got potential for sure.
Absolutely, he
And
does. I mean, like you said, he's young. Like, you know, Kobe at his rookie year wasn't Kobe when he went from 8 to 24. You know, that was a big jump. So
Tom
He wasn't
Brady
even
as well.
starting.
yeah, so you know, it's. I'm sure we're going to see him take a big leap in the next couple years.
Is Patrick Mahomes the next GOAT? I'm hearing that he's.
I think he has no choice but to be.
He's on track for it.
He's 28 years old and he's got 3 Super Bowl rings, or was this his 4th?
This was his third.
Yeah, and his
Portrait.
third Super Bowl MVP. Honestly, I think he's the only quarterback in the league that can truly play with nobodies like Brady did and be elite still. I mean, and I'm not to pick on your guy again, but like Brock Purdy has to have George Kittle,
Debo,
Juszczyk, Debo, Brandon Ayuk. Like he's got to have
CMC,
all these people, and yeah, Pat Mahomes still had Kelsey, and
that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he played with a bargain bin team this year and won it all.
That's why I was saying that they're the underdogs. Yeah.
I mean, who else did that? I mean, Brady was the only other person that was taking grocery baggers and winning
lacrosse
Super Bowls.
players.
Deion Branch, fucking
Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola,
Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan was a lacrosse player before he went to the NFL. But yeah, I don't know. But I would say that I think, and just like one other thing about the Niners having the edge, I would say that it's arguable that CMC, he's probably the best like skill guy in the NFL right now.
Absolutely, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, who's better than him as you know, like as an offensive threat? There's really nobody.
Tyreek is up there.
Tyreek is definitely there, yeah.
But I think C-Mac playing out of the backfield gives him a bigger advantage over Hill. I mean, because to me, the only thing that Tyreek has over C-Mac is the raw speed. C-Mac can run the routes. He's got the hands. He can, and as you've seen from the Super Bowl, he's not just a pass catcher out of the backfield. He can lower the shoulder and give a lick and take a lick with the rest of them. Like I've never disliked C-Mac, even from when he first got in the league with Carolina, but especially watching him over the playoffs this year and in the Super Bowl, I gained a little bit more respect for him. Because you saw just how efficient he was and just how hard he was running. And you didn't really see him run like that necessarily in Carolina. You saw him more as that elusive, speedy scat back where he was looking real bell cowish under Shanahan.
Oh, yeah. You got to fight. They lit a fire underneath him, I think. And, you know, the other thing that he has going for him is that he's been disciplined to be this guy from a young age. Sure. Like there's a podcast, I forgot what it was that he was on, but he was talking about all the shit that his dad would do when they were growing up. Like he started when in high school when he started cramping during games. His dad would pick him up before the game, take him to go get an IV hydration, and then go play the game so he wouldn't cramp. And like, you know, his academics, his diet. Well, you know, his dad is a 4-time Super Bowler, so yeah, and
his mom's a hell of an athlete too. Yep,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, family full of Olympians. The McCaffrey, and then his brother's coming out of the Rice.
Yeah, Rice.
Rice, the wide receiver.
QB. Yeah, he converted from QB to wide receiver.
Yeah. Oh, and he'll transfer to some big school next year. Don't worry.
He's going to get drafted this year, I think.
Yeah, he's supposed to go to the draft.
Him and Jerry Rice's son and Frank Gore's son and Marvin
Asante Samuel's son.
Asante Samuel's son's cool.
No, I meant Jeremiah Trotter's son. He's one of the best linebacker prospects coming out of Clemson this year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm hoping the Eagles take him with their 22nd overall pick.
Yeah, they're looking nice too.
Damn.
One thing that was asked, and I want to ask you guys because we're all kind of well versed in different sports. And when I asked this last time, we had a lot of golfers, so I feel like it was biased. Out of all the sports, which one do you guys think is the hardest that takes the most discipline? Baseball? Okay.
Baseball.
But hold on, what specifically are we talking about? Because the answer is baseball if we're talking about a task in a sport.
Being the champion. Like being the very top, I guess, being the top of the sport. You think it's baseball?
The toughest sport to be the winner in?
To be obviously
elite, considered elite.
Right. Michael Jordan status.
The easiest way to explain why it's baseball is because baseball is the only sport that you can fail 3 times out of 10 and make it to the Hall of Fame.
7 out of 10.
Or yes, you can succeed 3 times out of 10 and be considered the game's greatest player.
Okay,
like
you're hitting a round ball with a round bat.
More difficult.
Ask Coach Prime over there at Colorado what the hardest thing he ever did in his sports career was, and he'll tell you it was hitting a baseball.
Okay,
we're all in agreement that like MJ is one of the greatest athletes of all time, right?
That's good evidence. That's great evidence.
And how did he do?
He didn't train as a baseball player though.
But I heard that he played baseball to serve a ghost suspension for gambling.
Like
so that's where I'm kind of.
That's what we're talking about, right? Like, was that legit that he wanted to go back and try and play baseball? Like, but he was committed to it for 2 years?
I like where you're going. I like where you're going with this. Yeah,
I do have agreement with you guys to an extent, but there's like I don't know. Football is like not an easy sport though, you know, and it's also the thing is that with baseball. You have what is it? Is it 9 players?
Yeah.
On the field, like on defense. Essentially, you can kind of move them around, and they could probably
not so much anymore.
Well, not anymore.
I mean, maybe not at the pro level, but like for the most part, they can go around and play any position, right? If they had to.
Yeah.
But in football, you're never going to see Mahomes playing center. You know, so it's kind of it's really hard.
Yeah, but at the same point in time, you were never going to see Yogi Berra or Yadier Molina go out on the mound and pitch a no hitter.
It's true.
So
you're not going to see Nolan Ryan go play.
I'm not saying that to be elite in basketball or to be elite in football, you are less of an athlete than if you were elite in baseball. What I'm saying is because of the amount of failure that's baked into the cake from the jump with baseball that you have to swallow and be able to live with and still consider your own self good sets you apart from football. In football, if you only win 3 out of 10 games, or if you only win or complete 3 out of 10 passes, you're not going to get a chance to go play the next day. If at baseball you go 3 for 10 over 3 games, you're doing amazing. You know, like you're on fire, I dare say. But then again, you've also got 162 games in a regular season
for baseball.
Yeah.
You got to deal with that shit every day for 6 months. Also, too, you made a good point, PQ. You said it's 9 on defense, right? That's one of the only sports where it's like that kind of odds where it's 9 versus 1. Like you got 9 people that are trying to get you out and you're at the plate. You have to get the ball pretty much landed somewhere within those 9 people.
Yeah, but you're chasing a 3 cubic inch spherical object that's flying at 100+ miles an hour. However, God knows how many feet up in the air and you've got to cover 3 football fields worth of outfield between 3 guys. I mean, I don't think people understand just how massive a baseball field is. From third base to first base is the same as throwing from the 35 to the 35 on a football field. Like, that's no short.
35.
Go back and watch those old Raider games when they put the field there.
Yeah,
you can see
when they played in the Coliseum. Yeah,
the first. Yeah,
it might not be the 35 to the 35. It might be 40 to 40, but it's a substantial distance. I mean, it's not a short distance, but you lose just how drastically big these parks are sometimes. Like St. Louis has a massive outfield. Like, you've got to have guys that can run 4.2, 4.1 speed to be able to hawk down these balls, or else you might as well have a garbage truck out there.
No, Hank, you were right, because it's 180 feet from third to first, so that's 60 yards. It's a 60-yard throw to make it across the diamond.
Damn.
What about guys that's not at the college levels too? Is it?
It's from high school. Yeah, it's from high school up to the pros. It's all that. So my son's
the
playing
only thing
on
that changes
team right now
in dimensions is the outfield. The infield is the same.
Yeah, infield's the same. From high school all the way to the pros.
Yeah, it's all how far out the fences are.
I'm not hating on baseball at all. Like, I would say one of the biggest differences is baseball's more of like a skill game.
That factors into. I agree.
And then the NFL, you'll find more overall athletes in the NFL, and the NFL is just a more physical game.
But being athletic doesn't mean you're successful in the sport, though. You know what I mean?
That's what. Yeah.
You can have an unathletic football player who's a GOAT. So you know what I mean?
Bo Jackson. I think Bo Jackson was the greatest athlete to have ever lived. Period, across any sport or anything, and it's because he not only made playing football look easy, he made playing baseball look easy. Like, before Deion Sanders, there was Bo Jackson. And Bo Jackson did things that just weren't supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, Bo Jackson would run for 350 yards and then the next week go 3 for 5 at the plate while running up the outfield wall to rob a home run. Like, dude was a freak, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, but you've got guys in baseball who they're not running under 5 in the 40, but they can crack the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, when they touch it. Yeah. But they might only hit for 205, 210 throughout the year. But if they got 35 dingers, but they strike out 3 times out of, every 5. It's just when they do touch it, it goes a long way. I'm not going to argue that baseball players are more skilled or more athletic than any other set of athletes from any other sport, because it's all dependent on your sport. It's not fair to take Steph Curry and put him in for CMAC and say, go get 250 on the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to take James Harden and put him, facing Max Scherzer and say, hey, do your best. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
It's
fair.
hard.
But
Chef, what do you think? Because I feel like everyone is biased. It depends on what sport they love, and that comes out, as the hardest sport, because they really value the discipline it takes to acquire and master those skill sets.
I think mine. Mine definitely is MMA.
Oh, you wuss, dude. It does not take skill to go hit a motherfucker in the
head. That's the thing about that, Kyle, is, like, a bum can get lucky and become champion. You know what I mean?
Kimbo
you could just have Kimbo Slice. You could just have a nuclear right hand.
I'm not sure we could disgrace that man's name by calling him a bum.
I thought he was a bum.
Rest in peace. In MMA,
maybe by the technicalist of senses in the world, he might.
Isn't that how he was found? Like, he was found doing bum fights, I thought.
Oh, yeah. you mean
he was doing those backyard fights.
It wasn't an insult. He was being.
I don't think he was.
Sorry, my bad. I was being literal. My bad. No, he was a great fighter. He wasn't a bum as a fighter,
but compared to Kimbo Slice, they were kind of they were a little bummish, if you will. But yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one for me. I guess I don't really have like a for sure. Like obviously, like one of my favorite sports is UFC, and I think I'm also getting that mixed martial arts in general. But I think I'm getting that tangled in also with the fact that we have, when we talk about like rigged and whatnot, like I don't think the UFC is that rigged. I think boxing may or may not be, to a sense. You know, we got the Jake Paul, the Logan Paul, we got all that shit, Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, Ben Askren. But I don't know. I think it takes a different type of dog to play, not to play, but to participate in MMA in general. But with that being said, like I'm not a really big athlete. I don't know a lot about a lot of sports, so I don't have like a definitive stance on that. But you know, naturally, I'm going to lean on MMA. I do think there's a lot of skill. I think there's a lot of hand-eye coordination, which I think also translates into NFL, NBA, hockey, every single sport.
Right.
Like I think hand-eye coordination is key.
It's a great point.
No matter, we're talking water polo, like, and that's also a solid one too, dude. Like you're playing,
you're multitasking
water polo, and you're consistently having to tread water like the whole fucking time. And then you get into soccer, like these dudes run for fucking 90 minutes straight.
Right.
The great point.
Hard.
One thing people don't talk about with water polo is you have to disrupt your breathing pattern too when you go under. You know, that probably takes a lot of your cardio away, I feel like. But you know what? Just to negate what I said about any bum can be a champion in MMA, that's not true, because you have to make weight. That's one of the requirements to make it to the dance in the first place, right? And there's a lot of weight bullies that take advantage of that. So if you know you're just I walk around 155 and I got a nuclear right, fuck it, I'm gonna go. There's a guy who's probably cutting from 180 who's like a savage wrestler that's used to, you know, fighting a fucking one punch trick artist. But also risk and reward, man. Like if you lose, I feel like in baseball, or if you lose in football, it's like, oh, we got next one, you know?
Yeah.
And although you have that with the fight, depending on how you lose, like you got knocked the fuck out, bro. And everybody saw that. And you're known now as the guy that got fucked up. You know, sometimes those clips go viral, and we talked about NFTs. There's some NFTs of fools just getting knocked out, and that's, you know, ingrained forever in the cybernetic world.
Bro, Bryce Mitchell.
They always say
Bryce
that,
Mitchell.
like, you know, that in fighting,
I was scared.
You can only take so many of those knockouts, you know, like, and everybody has a different number.
Yeah, so I just brought up a list over here. It said most ranked as most difficult sport in the world. The first one is boxing. Interesting. Second one is ice hockey. Third is football. Fourth is basketball.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know about that. 5 is wrestling.
I'm saying. It depends on what you're talking about. When
with the criteria.
I think it's because you have to suck a lot of dick in basketball to fucking get.
Well, so another thing is, you know, Daniel Cormier was saying one time on Rogan's thing that boxing is more dangerous than MMA fighting because they don't stop the fight as quickly in boxing. Like once you get knocked down, you can come back up.
That makes sense. And the thing about boxing is there's a stigma too. Like I feel like I had a conversation with someone about this. I feel like it's ranked number 1 here because of the stigma of overtraining. You know, you got to work out, you got to run your miles. You know, even if it's an off day, like they tell you to go do road work when you don't have to do road work. Maybe you should just recover. But it's that old school stigma of like even running, like the further we advance in kinesiology, like running is outdated. You know, you should just go swimming, or there's those underwater treadmills you could go on now to preserve your joints. But boxing culture, you know, you have to run, you have to do the old school workouts, and I feel like that translates into the whole training aspect of it too. You know, there's less evolution and advancements in training. But ice hockey, like Chef said, being able to coordinate and balance on ice. And now, granted, with that scene that happened with the accident in the hockey game, that shit was crazy.
Damn. Yeah, that
puts it up there now, man.
Well, if boxing takes the cake is most difficult, then the clip that I just shared with the group will be further evidence as to why baseball is the GOAT.
Poor Tim Anderson.
All right, let me pull that up. Maybe we'll wrap up with that one.
He has not been the same since that went down.
Yo, I will tell you this. I like this clip. I think baseball has the most lit fights. You know, granted, hockey they let you fight, but basketball fights, basketball players are pussies. And if you want to fight about it, like we can set up an exhibition match. Hit me up. You know what I mean?
But
Draymond was over there like talking about shanking people.
You have players from all over the field, from every nook and cranny, pouring onto the field. Like the bullpens will empty out.
Like 300.
They got your back. They got your back. I like that. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna find that too. The fucking Amir Garrett one I just saw it the other day.
Oh, I love that one.
Dude,
where he goes and fights the entire Reds.
Yeah.
Or no, he was on the Reds.
He was on the Reds fighting the Pirates.
Yeah, that's who it was, the Pirates.
Oscar's throw is not in time.
That's such a weird
he just missed him
position to start a fight in.
This is another rocket of a throw, and now... Oh, boy. Now, oh, my goodness.
Oh, shit. Go.
It started with Anderson.
Oh, that was a nice overhand.
Everybody got to go night-night. You want to go night-night? You want to go night-night?
It's the boogeyman, bitch.
Gotta love it. So there's boxing and baseball, so baseball's the best.
Well, actually, that I don't mean to disrespect the Malice and Palace. That one was a lit fight too, as far as sports. But that's like one.
That was insane, man.
That's a core memory, dude.
Core memory for sure.
Core memory. That was
insane. That was like the sports 9/11.
That was
the Pacers and the Pistons.
Pistons, Pacers. Okay. Ben Wallace.
Yep.
Ron Artest.
Reggie Miller?
Yep. Reggie Miller, Ben Wallace.
Reggie was out that game.
Okay.
He was hurt. He had a broken hand or something.
How convenient.
Ron Artest.
Yeah. Ron Artest.
Artest. I love that.
Jermaine O'Neal. Fuck. They have a special on it on Netflix. Malice and Palace.
I think I saw it once before.
It's a 30 for 30.
30 for 30, yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible.
I love 30 for 30.
It's a blowout.
Do you guys think it's disrespectful to score when it's a blowout? Like, who cares?
No. Right? The foul was the issue. Yeah. Artest fouling like that, like when he didn't need to.
Yep.
Wait, can you redo the foul?
I mean, it was garbage time score, so he shouldn't.
Yeah, let him score. They're like
But that didn't escalate it. I think is the fact that someone fucking threw a drink at his face when it was already heated is what fucking set it off.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
The special goes into it. They've been. This was like a few years in the making of like the Pistons were beating the shit out of the Pacers like the previous year or something, and then they had this game, and this was like one of the most hyped games in their rivalry at the time, and Indiana just blew them out in Detroit. And then that happened at the end of the game. And the shit comes flying.
So Ron Artest is or Meta World Peace.
Ron Artest.
Formerly known. Chilling over there. It's a blowout game. And I think they threw a fucking extra large fucking.
Yeah. Like a big gulp.
Oh, damn. Not even. That was a straight up cup they threw at him, bro.
And he goes right for that motherfucker.
Yep.
How did he know it was him, though?
Steven Jackson.
It doesn't matter. I don't think he knew it was him. He was just going to fuck someone
He just saw the first white boy he saw got it.
I think red, bro.
I don't remember if I haven't seen it in a while, but I don't think that was the dude that actually threw it. It was the one next to him.
Yeah.
And this guy comes.
Oh my god! Damn.
Yo, he took that, bro. He took that.
In the special, they talk to those dudes, and it's hilarious. It's so funny.
They have gold chains and a crown on. They're fucking paid as fuck. Yeah, the craziest one is when Jermaine O'Neal threw a fucking running haymaker at someone.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
That's the fucking crazy. Besides that, though, I think baseball has the most lit fights. There aren't too many football fights, are there?
Not really. I mean, they're already.
They all got helmets on.
Not since the Houston's Texans fight.
Andre
Brian
Johnson
Cushing.
and Finnegan. Oh,
I thought it was Brian Cushing, and it might have been Andre Johnson and Finnegan.
I think so. Titans and Texans.
Where they ripped each other's helmets off. I mean,
Fucking
9 times out of 10, punches get thrown when the helmets are still on in football, and I think that's the dumbest thing you could do.
Yeah,
especially because it's never like a lineman that does it, that doesn't really need his hands. It's always like the star wide receiver that throws a punch with his good hand, and so now he's out for the next 3 months.
Myles Garrett was slinging his helmet around. Right?
Yeah,
that's right.
If the allegations were to be believed, I would have been swinging the helmet too if I was Myles Garrett. Mason Rudolph.
What were the allegations?
That Mason Rudolph let a hard R slide.
Shit.
Supposedly.
Valid.
You just can't do that. You just can't. You just can't do that.
Nope. Take flight.
If you're any kind of light-skinned like that, don't even come close to it.
And then in the game, I think it was formerly the Redskins and the Seahawks, the playoff game. Sherman goes up to Trent Williams after the game, trying to say good game or some shit like that, and Trent just sucker punches him in the face.
Oh shit!
But they're not. There's no real fights like in baseball though. Like in football,
With
you got the bullpen coming out, dude. That's the best.
With baseball, it looks like there's more that's happening than there really is. Like most of the time in baseball, it's just a bunch of chest on chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's further proof though that how intense baseball is, because you have normally it's caused because of a pitcher throwing inside or too hard, because that shit's dangerous. That shit's dangerous. 90 miles.
Somebody pimping a home run and the pitcher taking offense to it.
That one don't
I used to love watching Madison Bumgarner go ballistic because somebody just took him deep for 450 yards and get around the bases. Get around the bases.
Fucking Muncie, go pick that shit up out of the bay.
Go get that shit out of the bay, bro.
That's hilarious.
All right, I got the perfect question to wrap this up. Let's put together a celebrity death match, but all sports celebrities.
Hey, that was a banging show, by the way. They need to bring that back.
I think there's a game, bro. I need to get that.
That was a sick ass show,
Yeah, celebrity death match.
I love that show.
Yeah, whoever can go first, you guys go first. I'm gonna think.
So you want to see fight?
I think we automatically got to put Ray Lewis in there.
Who are you putting him against?
I don't know, but he's a legit murderer, so we got to have his ass in there. I think we could put Nolan Ryan in his prime in there because he beat the shit out of Jesse Ventura in the middle of a game.
What?
Or Robin Ventura. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen the clip.
That's in the headlock.
Robin Ventura thought he was going to rush the mound against Nolan Ryan, and he didn't know that Nolan Ryan grew up wrangling calves and steers his whole life, and so
handled him.
So Nolan Ryan put his ass in the headlock and wore his ass out.
Yeah.
And then Nolan didn't get kicked from the game. He completed the game.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan fighter. Draymond Green.
Yeah, we got to put Draymond in there. Got to get Draymond.
Great.
Got to get
Draymond versus.
Got to get Zach Randolph in there from the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say Draymond versus Prime Charles Barkley would be good.
Oh, see, that's who Zebo reminded me of. Zebo reminded me of a severely more ghetto Charles Barkley. I love Zach Randolph.
He's a gangster.
I've actually got one of his jerseys.
You know who
Grizzlies,
would
right?
scrap a little bit? Rajah Bell would scrap a little bit.
Yeah, he do that clothesline.
He was more instigator, but he was fearless out there. He was mugging people.
Hey, we got to
And
get
Wallace?
Larry Bird in there for some.
Oh, you know who I would do is I'd do Scottie Pippen versus Michael Jordan's son.
Oh, that's a main event. You just booked the main event, bro.
Oh Jesus!
Fuck.
I'm gonna go Yoel Romero and John Jones, dude.
That's gangsta. Yeah. I was thinking about putting combat athletes, but I'll just go Francis Ngannou versus I guess I want to say prime Mike Tyson in a boxing match would be badass.
That'd be nuts.
Nasty.
Just a nuclear
You know, it would have been
explosion.
sick seeing Prime Pacquiao against Prime Mayweather. Too bad we never got that.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Pacquiao
we
would
saw
have
that.
fucked his ass up.
We saw
no,
we saw
not in
that.
the Prime. Not in the
We
Prime.
we saw that. Oh
No,
no.
he kept ducking him. Stop it.
We'll do a watch along. That happened already.
Dude, that one pissed me off so bad. I was so angry. I just don't like him.
5 years too late, man.
Mayweather just, I mean, he's good. It's like, I hate fucking Tom Brady too. That fucking suck a dick. But he's good. He's
Oh,
good.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's one of those things like Mayweather is good, but at the same time, like the fact that he flaunts around like $5 million in a briefcase all day, like I'm fucking jealous, okay?
Yeah. 100%.
I mean,
We
his
gotta
nickname's
get-
Money. His nickname's
I
Money.
love that.
He has to play on the
True. But
gimmick.
come on.
You can't
It's
read,
like,
but you can count, though.
You can't.
We got to
You can't
get
read, but you can count like a
we got to
motherfucker.
get Dikembe Mutombo versus Yao Ming.
Oh shit.
Yo, that was probably like an epic battle back in like fucking like the days when Giants were around, you know. I like to watch NBA and be like, dude, these are just like little giants playing sports.
I think you had Muggsy Bogues out there at 5'6" tearing it up.
Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, both Isaiah Thomases.
Yep.
Funny, man. All right, let's wrap it up. Hank, thanks for coming on, man. Where can people
man,
find you outside
yeah.
the cave?
Dude, it's been a pleasure. I sincerely have enjoyed my time on here with y'all tonight. It's been an absolute honor getting to meet y'all. If y'all want to come check me out, I got a pretty good Instagram page going, 643 Conspiracy. I'm available in all of your major podcast catchers that I'm aware of. Check out my link tree. You can see all the little stuff we got going on in there. Nothing too major at the current time, but me and Chef Kyle got some things that we're cooking up that will be rolling out real soon. Got some big things in the works.
Hell yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. It was a blast.
Hell
You guys
yeah.
have anything to plug before we wrap it up?
If y'all got some pets and y'all need some pet CBD products, go check out purepetwellness.com and enter promo code 643 at checkout. Get yourself 20% off. I'm a repeat customer. It's an amazing product. It's all natural, locally sourced products from Southern California. Go check them out.
Hell yeah.
Dope.
I have 2 dogs, man, so I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, dude, they've got like paw balms to keep their paws moisturized. They've got CBD sprays and tinctures for like skin irritations, anxiety, all that good shit. Or if you just want to get them zenned out for a while, you can just dose them up.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I had this chihuahua.
He already
dude.
does that.
Yeah, I accidentally dosed him up too much. The motherfucker couldn't stand, bro. Fool was leaning up against the wall. It had his tongue out. I was like, damn, can you overdose on this shit? But you can't,
Dude.
right? You can't?
No, not
real
on
quick.
CBD.
Okay.
Real quick, I gotta share one story real quick. I know we're wrapping up. So I'll have to find the Instagram, but my grandma at one point had an Instagram called Ganja Granny. And my grandma was a trimmer up in Northern California, okay? Long story short, we had all the goods and the stuff up in NorCal. And my dad whipped up a pretty filthy batch of caramel. Okay? So we had the caramel. I had this little chest that I grew up with, a small little chest that you hold the top back over and you lock it. So I had it locked, but there wasn't like a pin through it because I just didn't think, I don't know, my dogs were capable of opening it.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, man, the caramels, dude.
Oh man.
And just for anyone out there that may accidents happen, right? But my stepmom at the time worked she was a vet tech. Or I guess she was a receptionist, not a vet tech. That's a lie. She was a receptionist, so she would book shit. And I called her and I'm like, bro, my dog needs some help.
Oh shit.
And she's like, you can either go pay like $3,000 for them to pump your dog's stomach, or you can just kindly tell your dog to just ride this bitch out and buckle up.
Shit. What did it look like? Like, how was it behaving?
It's obviously fucking high as fuck.
Dude. She could not stand up. I literally fell asleep, dude, with this dog on my chest with my hand underneath her so I can check her heartbeat.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, motherfucker, dude, like, I can't do anything right in this world. Like,
dude, because there was, like, to add on to your story, there was one time I was with Jorizi. We were watching one of the newer Star Wars movies.
Okay.
And he gave me like a piece, like, I'm not like an avid, like, person. And he gave me like a small piece of a cookie. And I felt like I was going to have like a fucking heart attack. It was so fucking strong.
Let's go.
It's
I don't eat edibles for that reason.
Yeah.
I threw back a shamanic dose of 1-Up gummies the other day. And by the way, I'm going to be that Karen. I'm calling and I'm complaining because I microdose, dude. I'm not a big, I don't partake a lot. I just like little tiny bits and doses. But dude, I ate the whole fucking bag, dude, and I got nothing, dude. I want my $35 back.
That's why.
Damn.
Yeah.
Any hoodles.
That's why. But just to cap it off, they look like they're sleepy. Dogs that are like overdosed on CBD look like they're sleepy. Tongue is hanging out.
Yep.
Damn.
And they're swaying pretty much.
Lethargic as shit.
Hell yeah, bro. About to go into comatose and shit. But all right, let's wrap it up. If you like the shirt, go to bohemiangrove.com. Shout out to Bohemian Grove. And if you guys want to go deeper down the cave, join the Discord community. Link on our Patreon page. You can find that on our website, k4v3.com. Check out our sponsors at safelightcandle.com. And we appreciate you guys. Peace out. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Later.
Oh, yeah.
Pasta la pasta.
Oh, yeah.
I should have ripped this proper thing.